I'm a cook on a trader. I can dance, I can sing, I can reef the main boom. I can handle a jigger, and I cut a fine figure. Whenever I get in the boat standing room, we'll rant and we'll roar like true Newfoundlanders. We'll rant and we'll roar on deck and below, until we strikes bottom inside of two sunkers. One straight through the channels of Toslow we'll go.
Justin, we're ready to go.
Okay.
We're waiting on a couple guys.
Testing. It's a bit high. All right, I think we're ready to get started. My name is Cassie Chisholm, and I'm a Vice President with Newfoundland and Labrador Health Services. Prior to this, I was with Eastern Health. A lot of people still call it Eastern Health. I heard a lot of people coming in saying, is this the Eastern Health event? But these days, we're actually Newfoundland and Labrador Health Services. In any case, my position is with NLHS, and part of my responsibilities are the Provincial Cardiovascular Program. And tonight, the Cardiovascular Program is going to host this event called A Time for Health. We're going to start with some music. We'll talk a little bit more, a little bit later on about what else will happen here tonight, but we'll get it started with a couple of songs by the band.
And we're called the Mormon Tabernacle Choir.
Like a lazy floating river, slowly gathers in the sky, and the crowd is getting bigger, and we gotta let the music, and we gotta let the music play. Listen to the music, oh, oh, oh. Listen to the music, oh, oh, oh. Listen to the music all the time. Right on.
What's next?
Do another one? Okay, we'll just keep on rolling here.
Handle care. Okay.
Sorry, we're still taking lessons, so.
Minor
I
instruction.
haven't met all the band yet either, so it's going to be good.
Been beat up and battered around. Been sent up and I've been shot down. You're the best thing that I've ever found. Handle me with care. Reputation's changeable. Situation's tolerable. But baby, you're adorable. Handle me with care. I'm so tired of being lonely. I still have some love to give. Won't you show me that you really care? Everybody's got somebody to lean on. Put your body next to mine and dream on. I've been fobbed up and I've been fooled. I've been robbed and ridiculed and daycare centers and night schools. Handle me with care. Been stuck in airports, terrorized, hypnotized, overexposed, commercialized. Handle me with care. I'm so tired of being lonely. I still have some love to give. Won't you show me that you really care? Everybody's got somebody to lean on. Put your body next to mine and dream on. I've been outside and I've made a mess. I'll clean it up myself, I guess. Oh, the sweet smell of success. Handle me with care. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. How are you doing? That's good to see. There's two dialysis nurses here, Lisa and Deanne, that I worked with. Where are they? How are you doing? You haven't changed one bit, unlike myself. We're waiting for Kerry's going to come on and do the land acknowledgement, and then we're going to get the event moving formally.
Thank you. I'm not as tall as this person. Hello, how's everyone? Oh, that's good. I noticed there were some bopping heads happening during the last song, so I think the band is ready for some more songs after. So my name is Carrie Abbott. I'm the Economic Development and Tourism Officer with the town of Carbonear, and I'm going to read the land acknowledgement. I want to begin by acknowledging the province of Newfoundland and Labrador as the ancestral homelands of many diverse populations of Indigenous people who have contributed to 9,000 years of history, including the Beothuk on the island of Newfoundland. Today, this province is home to diverse populations of Indigenous and other people. We also acknowledge with respect the diverse histories and cultures of the Mi'kmaq, Innu, and Inuit. Although each community is distinct, we all share a desire to chart a way forward together towards reconciliation. Also, we have Stan up in the nest, I'll call it. So if you want to go back and watch tonight, it's being live streamed right now on YouTube. We shared the link on our Facebook page. So if you want to pop up during the next song and start bopping a little stand-in, you can watch yourself later on tonight. All right, thank you.
I'm back. You have no idea how scary it is to be up here with all of you down there looking at me. I think we're off to a good start, hey? Isn't that band awesome? I'd say it's pretty hard to believe that that's not their day job. It isn't. But anyways, they'll tell you more about themselves, I'm sure, when they come out later on in the program. And so speaking of the program, this is a bit of a different thing that we're trying to accomplish here tonight. It's a bit of an experiment. And you may have seen on the flyers and in the advertising, we're calling it A Time for Health. And we chose that name intentionally, of course, because in Newfoundland, we often say a time when we're talking about a party or a celebration. And we wanted to use that, kind of a play on words, because the whole idea here tonight is to relax and enjoy and take note of some of the really good and powerful things that are going on in our culture and in our communities that can lead to really good health outcomes. And so the cardiovascular program is a host of this event tonight, along with the town of Carbonear and the Healthcare Foundation. And we have lots of partners that have been behind us getting these events off the ground. We also did an event like this in St. John's about a month ago, and we may be a bit biased, but we felt it went pretty well. And after that one, we thought, we're going to take this thing on the road and see how it goes. So we hope for the night to be really casual, really informal. Love to hear from you. There's no needs to be shy here. We have music, as you've heard. We have some conversation or some dialogue that we'll have through the evening. And we have food. And as folks come out, we'll get them to introduce themselves as we go along. But one of the more interesting parts, I think, of the evening is going to be a conversation with somebody local here who actually has had a cardiovascular event in his life. And he's going to tell you a little bit about that. So I think that leads me now to asking Dr. Pat Parfrey to come out and keep moving.
So we're co-emceeing this event, and we're hoping that as we go through the sections, there'll be, as Cassie said, there's 4 sections, that there'll be 2 people on the stage that we can have interactions, etc., with each other. My role here is to tell you something about why we want to do this and why we're trying to increase awareness around heart health and healthy living, and awareness around the social factors that influence health. Because we need to get the information out there so that we can live more healthy. Now let me fill you in with some background and some things that you probably don't know anything about. Which province has got the highest degree of life satisfaction in the country? Newfoundland and Labrador. Which province has the greatest sense of belonging in their communities? Newfoundland and Labrador. Which province has got the greatest degree of social cohesion? Newfoundland and Labrador. So there's an enormous amount involved in our communities that we need to be proud of. Our logic here is that social cohesion and community togetherness should allow us to anchor change within the way we live and the way we live from a healthy perspective. And the 2 things that we feel are really areas that we can move on are the fact that we live in this pristine environment with fantastic trails and a country that's made for activity, and then we've also got all this bounty in the ocean and on the land, and the fish and the root vegetables and the moose and the berries and the local food that's nutritious and tasty that we should be eating, and healthy, that we should be making more of. So we're trying to think that if we're able to anchor change within our culture and then say that there are a few things in our society that we can actually improve, and one of those is that we have the lowest life expectancy in the country, and that's because we have the highest rates of cardiac disease, stroke, and cancer. And those things can be prevented. And we're hoping that with these three major benefits that we have as a province, social cohesion, pristine environment, fantastic local food, that we can change the thought processes around healthy living. That's the kind of the major message that we're here tonight about. And then I think the other message that we're trying to get across is that this is not about health care. This is much bigger than this. This is not about, it's not about physical health. It's about mental health and social health and financial health and environmental health. They all comprise the important things in our well-being, for our well-being, and we don't seem to kind of, when you hear the talk, we don't seem to latch on to the fact that well-being is a far broader thing than physical health. And then the second component is that we seem to think that healthcare is what it's all about, delivery of healthcare. That's actually not true. What is actually true is that the environment in which you live and how we live is far more important, and that the social circumstances in which we live and the financial security in which we live and the educational system that we get and the justice system that we have and the environment in which we live contribute far more to our outcomes, our life outcomes, than healthcare. And then the third thing we're trying to get across is that this is not the government of Newfoundland. It's not their responsibility. They have some responsibility for programs that deal with poverty and skill development, education and health promotion. But the reality is that in terms of our well-being, it's much more to do with us as a society, us as a family, living in a community which can influence the way we live and how we live and with whom we live and the environment in which we're in. So they're the three big messages that we're trying to put across in terms of well-being. So I think I'll stop there. What we're going to do is we're going to intersperse, I suppose, some serious information, I suppose, but hopefully not in a too heavy manner, intersperse it with the music. We've got some funny stories coming up. And then at the end, we've got 2 courses, tasting dishes that Jeremy Charles has cooked for you, that is cooked from local food entirely, to demonstrate how easy it is to be able to use local food in a nutritious way. So with that, I'll call in the band.
Babalula, baby, what I say. Here come Johnny singing, I got a woman down in the tunnel trying to make it pay. He got the action, he got the motion. Oh yeah, the boy can play. Dedication, devotion, he turning all the nighttime into the day. Song about the sweet old loving woman. Do the song about the knife, and do the walk of life. Yeah, do the walk of life. Here come Johnny, gonna tell you a story. Hand me down my walking shoes. Here come Johnny, the power and the glory. Backbeat, the talking blues. He got the action, he got the motion. Oh yeah, the boy can play. Dedication, devotion. devotion, he turning all the nighttime into the day. The song about the sweet old loving woman. Do the song about the knife. Do the walk of life. Yeah, do the walk of life. Lula, baby, what I say. Here come Johnny saying, I got a woman down in the tunnel trying to make it pay. He got the action, he got the motion. Oh yeah, the boy can play. Dedication, devotion, he turning all the nighttime into the day. While the violence and double talk, just a song and all the trouble and the strife. You do the walk of life. Yeah, do the walk of life.
We got some players up here.
We got some fakers too.
Dottie, when are you going to introduce the band? Or this
Okay, yeah, sorry. You can obviously tell we're not the Mormon Tabernacle Choir. We're not the Vienna Boys Choir. Maybe the Freshwater Delinquent Choir. Sounds be good. So we go by various names. Tonight we're called the Flu Fighters. The Flu Fighters is more of a musical concept than anything. We've had more band members than Steely Dan, if anybody knows Steely Dan, or maybe the Eagles, you know, like we've had a lot of people coming and going. This fella, we picked him up last week. That fella over there with the acoustic guitar, we picked him up hitchhiking and tilting on the way here. Okay? So the next song is, what are we doing? Heard It Through the Grapevine. None of this applies to any of this, okay? So just enjoy.
Your plans to make me blue with some other guy you knew before. Between the two of us guys, you know I love you more. You took me by surprise, I must say, when I found out yesterday. Don't you know I heard it through the grapevine? Not much longer would you be mine. Ooh, heard it through the grapevine. Just about to lose my mind. Honey, I know a man ain't supposed to cry, but these tears I can't hold inside. Losing you and my life, you see, 'cause you mean that much to me. You could have told me yourself, but you found someone else. Instead, I heard it through the grapevine. Not much longer would you be mine. Ooh, heard it through the grapevine. And I'm just about to lose my mind. Honey, honey, hell. what you hear, son, and on what you see. I get a bit confused. If it's true, please tell me, dear. Do you plan to let me go for the other guy you loved before? Don't you know I made it through the grapevine? Not much longer would you be mine? Ooh, made it through the grapevine, and I'm just about to lose my mind. Holy, holy hell. Heard it through the grapevine. Not much longer would you be mine? Ooh, heard it through the grapevine, and I'm just about to lose my mind. Holy, holy hell.
Ladies and gentlemen, Cassie Chisholm.
I don't know about you guys, but I could listen to them all night. They're awesome, aren't they? So I forgot to tell you that, yes, I am Cassie Chisholm, but I was Cassie White, and I'm from this beautiful town, and it is so nice to actually be back here and see a few familiar faces. Hi, Aunt Ange. I can see your beautiful red hat there. So we've come to the part of the evening now where I'm going to call on Dr. Sean Connors and John Sheen to come out, and they're going to have a conversation right before your very eyes about John's experience a couple of years ago.
Hi, guys. It seems like there's a lot of
I can't keep it on the stand, man. That's ridiculous.
All I'll
You
say,
keep going. Don't let me interrupt you.
no. I got a professional here. I got a professional behind me. I have Pat and Cassie. So I'm your simple heart doctor. I'm part of our cardiovascular program. And I know Pat asked for our two dialysis nurses to raise their hands, but is there anyone
Can
here
I
in
just
the
say,
audience?
that's the first time I've ever been in the crowd. We got any dialysis nurses here tonight?
Who have I seen as a patient or a relative of theirs in the audience tonight? Anybody? There's some hands. Perfect. So, you know what? I think what we're here tonight is to talk about the people that I haven't seen yet, right? We're really good at treating you if you come in with a heart attack or a stroke, but we don't want you to have to come in, right? Like you're happy that you can come in and get good treatment, but I'm sure you'd rather not be in at all. And I don't know if any of you know Dr. Bob Humberg. I credit him with this story or quotation. First time I heard it was
screwed
perfect.
it up because I was backstage talking and I heard Cassie say my name, so I thought I had to come out.
We're too busy cutting wood to sharpen our axe. And we got to get out and talk to people. And to summarize everything Dr. Parfrey said, it comes down to we want to make you lot healthier. And I don't know any better way to do that than to have somebody who's been through the whole system tell us their story. Go ahead, John.
Oh, hey. Hi, everybody. How are you? This is, I got to be honest with you, this is weird. Yeah, I don't know. I've never, I've been on this stage, Jesus, since 1998, 99. I've been on this stage, I don't know how many times, whether it was with the Carbonear Theatre Company, Rebel Island, or whether it was with Rising Tides review shows over the years. You know, I've tried in that corner over there just before he came on stage. I think I'm the only person in like the 30-year history of review to make Jim Payne break before he came out. I was so happy. You know Jim? Jim is a Newfoundland icon, you know? Very well known for like Wave Over Wave especially. That's the song he wrote. So I was backstage right here trying to talk to Jim, trying to make him laugh before he went out on stage, which is a dick move to do in theater, you know? But what am I going to do, right? I said, Jim, before he goes out, I was thinking, how cool would it be to have AC/DC do Wave Over Wave? It's just a wave over wave. Right there, man, that's memories, holy shit. But the reason I'm out here tonight, you know what, I wasn't expecting to be. A couple of days ago, Cassie called and said, would you like to come out and, you know, maybe talk about what happened with you? And yeah, sure. I haven't a lot over the last couple of years. When it first happened, I went on social media about it for a while, but then I kind of backed off of it, and I let it. I didn't really mention it in the act. But yeah, 3 years ago, October 5th, I was. My wife, then girlfriend, was on her way to work, and I was sitting on the front step with the two dogs, and it was a beautiful October morning, October 5th, and I started to feel this tinge in my right arm, and. At first, I thought maybe I just pulled a muscle or something, maybe pinched a nerve, something like that. But when it started, a couple of seconds later, I felt it go a bit numb. And one word came to mind. One word, stroke. And I knew it immediately. My mother, you know, passed away a couple of years ago from stroke. My paternal grandfather died when he was 27 of a heart attack. You know, and so I knew my time with stroke was eventually going to come, but I thought I had a few more years. To be honest with you, I thought my ADD was going to take me out long before a stroke. You know, what's this button do? I thought long before a stroke, ADD was going to get me. But I went upstairs, and I knew something was really off. So I called up my daughter. She was 18 at the time. She was living with us, going to university. And I called her up over the stairs and said, sweetheart, don't panic, but I need you to call me an ambulance. I'm having a stroke. And those words coming out of my mouth, she wasn't expecting that, but she was great. She was very calm. She called the ambulance. Even when they showed up, she was professional. She asked, you know, answered questions. When they had me gone, she had her moment. But up to that, it was so important for me to have her there and being calm, because I didn't know what was going on, really. I mean, I knew what was happening to me, but I didn't know what was going to be the extent. And you don't want anything to that happen, let alone in front of your children. You know, so that was kind of terrifying, to be honest. But I was fortunate in that I knew what was happening to me. I knew it. I felt it. There was nothing wrong with my speech. There was nothing wrong. I didn't have any facial giveaways, but my arm was slowly going. I couldn't. When the ambulance got there, it had actually come back to life fully. It was fine. And I thought maybe I did pinch a nerve after all. Maybe it isn't a stroke. So I was going to let the ambulance, I was about to sign something to let the ambulance, a waiver, to let them go on their merry business when I couldn't pick up the pencil. And that's when I held up my arm, and it just, no matter what I tried to do, it just wouldn't stay up. It just went down to my side, and that was it. They had to help me into the ambulance. I couldn't sit up straight. It was, but I was lucky in that I was in Airport Heights, and I was only 20 minutes away from the health science. So from the onset of symptoms to the time I was hooked up to the good stuff was about 50 minutes, give or take. And that's the most important thing I can tell people about my stroke is timing. You know, if I had laid down to go to sleep for a little while, if I had just shook it off, if I had gotten on a fucking plane, then I don't know who I'd be right now. I don't know the person standing here if it would be the same person I grew up as. But we got there, and you know what? Hats off to the doctors. They were wonderful. I felt kind of bad because at the end of the day, I am a comic and a bit of a jerk. So at one point when the doctor came in, he said, have you noticed anything with your speech? Is there anything wrong with your speech? And I said, well, Doc, now that you mention it, for some reason, as soon as I woke up, I've been talking like this. Can you do something, Doc? It could be worse. You know, I could have woke up with like an Island Cove accent. That would have been fun. How you doing, John? Why tell you why? Best going like. Yeah, so anyway, that's my simple story about getting to the hospital. My arm came back to life and went 2 or 3 times that afternoon when they started putting the TPA in. But I felt very secure. The doctors, there was no doubt in my mind, they knew what they were doing. I felt secure the whole time. And I don't know, I'm not exactly the poster child for changing your life afterwards. Mainly because I didn't have any physical, there was nothing lingering, there was no physical, mental, who knows, right? There was no physical thing lingering, so with me, it was kind of, I'd like to say I changed my life, but I didn't. I still eat like crap, but I eat a bit better than I used to, if I'm being honest. I went from regular soda to like diet shit. I started watching my intake as far as sugar goes and as far as salt goes. I started watching all that. I started even exercising a little bit. But if you really want to get in shape, go to Cuba, because the food is shit. You will be back in shape in like a week because you won't eat nothing. No worries about salt. I suspect that they got people on the border that will keep you from bringing condiments in. Yeah, it's scary. They hate spice, honest to Jesus.
John, listen, there's a lot of people out there that are not my patients.
Well, I would judge a few, yeah.
And we don't want them to be our patients, right? I think what John is telling you, being a bit healthier is not a hardship.
Look, we live in a society that taught us that a pot full of vegetables boiled to death was healthy. It's not.
So what would you tell all the people out there, John? They don't, like, that story, I mean, nobody wants to go through that.
Nobody does.
You handle it better than I would say 99% of us, because I think I don't know if I would have, as a doctor, I don't think I would have tuned in as much as you tuned into those symptoms. Now, I didn't have a dad who had a heart attack either at 28.
Yeah, well, it was, my mother's experience. She had her stroke and passed away a couple of years ago. And so, I mean, it was something that was in the back of my head.
Yeah.
And I thought maybe I'd have to deal with this. I didn't think I was going to have to deal with it at, 46. I certainly didn't.
Yeah.
I kind of expected, maybe later on in life I'd have to look out for it. But it certainly was a wake-up call to maybe curb back a bit, in the lifestyle. And I was never a drinker anyway, so that wasn't an issue. I smoke a bit of marijuana from time to time. Don't judge me. It's legal. But in my defense, I was doing it before it was legal too, so. I'll tell you about that in a few minutes when we got a bit. All right, well, I'll tell you about that in a few minutes. Yeah. But you're right about, when, the thing is, and I think most people, I don't know what happened that morning, I can't, that really clicked in what it was, and it was probably just my mother's experience a few years prior. But I was really lucky that day. And people call it luck, and people tell me all the time how lucky I was that day. And I don't know that so much it was luck, but it was the fact that it was timing, I got there on time, and there was no luck with the professionalism I saw at the Health Sciences that day. People talk about Emerge all the time, people talk about the healthcare in Canada. All I can say about the healthcare in Canada is that if it wasn't for the healthcare in Canada, October 5th, 2020, I don't know who the fuck I'd be right now.
Yeah. I don't think anything we can say as doctors can ever kind of be more impactful than what John says there about his own story, right? The problem we have is nobody ever thanks you for the stroke they didn't have. So all of you people that have never had a stroke, we can preach and we can preach and we can preach. But, no one thanks you for that. All we tell you is to stop smoking, improve your diet, exercise. But sometimes thinking about a story like this can be the little thing that you need. And you don't need to become some evangelical, vegetarian, vegan, running 50 miles, 100 miles a week, right?
Not one of those things applied to me.
But he did eat fewer tacos. And he did switch to diet drinks.
I did do
There's
that.
a couple of small things, right? Like, on your Fitbit, you only need to walk 8,000 steps a day, not 10,000, to get all the cardiac and stroke benefits that you need.
Or you can tie it to the dog.
So, guys, we're really good. As John said, if you get into the health sciences with a heart attack or stroke, be confident. We're going to look after you.
And that's the problem.
But we don't want you to
The problem
come.
is that there's not only that, we don't want you there in the first place, but there's a huge problem throughout this province about people getting there on time. I mean, most people in this province live, well, the largest catchment area in the province is the Avalon. But for everyone who lives off the Avalon, you know, I've toured every nook and cranny on this island and in Labrador. And I tell you right now, the only thing that scares me is the thought that if I had been up in Cartwright somewhere, who knows?
We're going to change that.
All right.
John, thanks a million. We're going to get the big hook here from Dr. Parfrey to get off the stage in a second, but John's coming back.
All right.
Pretty rude. He didn't even introduce us. I'll do a few introductions. As I said, Dr. Parfrey called me a couple of months ago and said, I heard you have a band. And I said, well, sort of. And but he said, don't you have a band of people and a few doctors and stuff? I said, yeah, there's a couple of doctors. And he said, well, can you come out and play this thing for us at City Hall and St. John's and in Carbonear? And so then I said, well, what's involved? He said, what? You need all that shit? I said, yeah, you know, because we're all very insecure and we need a lot of support. So, as I said before, that it's more of a collective, and the band that we played in St. John's with is not this band. Well, it's some of us. I don't know where we got this fella. But he's Paul Johnson. He's a urologist. Paul? Show him your fingers, Paul. Okay? So, Chris LeDrew is actually the only professional musician here, right? And he was gracious enough to join us because our other lead guitar player had to go to Hawaii. Yeah. And he's wishing he was here. Terrible. That's how sick he is. Our drummer is Stephen Tizard. He's a teacher, and he works at St. John Bosco. Our lead guitar player is Blair Kennedy. I think he's probably the best all-round guitar player in Newfoundland, and a lot of people would say that. But he also has a day job. He's very busy. He keeps the Southern Shore going, well supplied in everything. Not drugs, okay?
Yeah, he drives
Get
a
your
white
mind
van
out of the
with
gutter,
windows.
for God's sake. Now, although legal cannabis, I could see him shipping that. I could see that happening. On the keyboards here, he was lucky to show up today. That's Dr. Doug Angel. So he has 2 MDs. He's got a Doctor of Medicine, or as a Medicinae Doctorame, or whatever they call it in Latin, and a music degree. And he barely showed up today. He's very unreliable. And the other fellow over there with the acoustic guitar, like I said, we picked him up in the Tilton Barns. His name is Corey James. So he's been playing with the first version of this band that had a very different name back then. And he keeps coming back and forth and tagging along, like, can I play with you guys? Can I play with you guys? So here he is. So anyway. And some of these songs we've never played together, so I apologize because we all got day jobs, okay?
Donnie Fitzpatrick.
That's Donnie Fitzpatrick. He dabbles in plastic surgery but spends most of his time playing bass.
And I'd like to thank all my aunts and cousins for coming out. What are we doing?
We're doing a song about alcohol, but at the end of it, he quits. So that's the whole Goal.
That's the health thing. It's not actually about drinking.
But he might go back to it if you guys don't clap.
No, 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 no. Used to spend my nights down at the barroom. Liquor was the only love I know. But you rescued me from reaching for the bottom and brought me back from being too far gone. You're as smooth as Tennessee whiskey. You're as sweet as strawberry wine. You're as warm as a glass of brandy. And honey, I'll stay stoned on your love all the time. I've looked for love in all the same old places. Found the bottom of the bottle's always dry. But when you poured out your heart, girl, I didn't waste it. 'Cause there's nothing like your love to get me out. Oh, you're as smooth as Tennessee whiskey. You're as sweet as strawberry wine. You're as warm as a glass of brandy. And honey, I'll stay stoned on your love all the time.
Here we go.
You're as smooth as Tennessee whiskey. You're as sweet as strawberry wine. You're as warm as a glass of brandy. And honey, I'll stay stoned on your love all the time. You're as smooth as Tennessee whiskey. Tennessee whiskey. Tennessee whiskey. Tennessee whiskey. Tennessee whiskey. Right on.
Again, that's Paul Johnson, vocals, Chris LeDrew on the guitar solo. Lots of very humble people here this evening, everywhere.
He got kicked out of Shalloway for smoking.
I think Donnie smoked weed when he said about me playing guitar when he got that fellow over there doing what he's doing.
We're kind of all stuck in the middle with everybody in this province now, so let's stick together and make it a better place going forward.
Well, I don't know why I came here tonight. I got the feeling that something ain't right. I'm so scared I guess I'll fall off my chair. And I don't know how to get down the stairs. Flowers to the left of me, shoulders to the right. Here I am, stuck in the middle with you. Yes, I'm stuck in the middle with you. And I don't know what it is I should do. Is it cool in case I keep on the floor? Round and out and over the place. Flowers to the left of me, shoulders to the right. Here I am, stuck in the middle with you. When you started off with nothing and you found that you're a self-made man. And your friends, they all come calling, laugh you on the back and say, please, please. Trying to make some sense of it all. I can see it makes no sense at all. Now the young gets on the fair, wondering how to get down the stairs. Flowers to the left of me, shoulders to the right. Here I am, stuck in the middle with you. Stuck in the middle with you. A self-made man. And your friends, they all come calling, clap you on the back and say, please, please. Well, I don't know why I came here tonight. I got a feeling something ain't right. I'm so scared in case I fall out my chair. Wondering how I'll get down the stairs. Flowers to the left of me, chokers to the right. Here I am, stuck in the middle with you. Yes, I'm stuck in the middle with you. Oh, stuck in the middle with you. Stuck in the middle with you. Thanks.
So, you might believe it or you might not, but that's the first time we ever played that song together.
That's actually
So, my apologies to Jerry Rafferty.
I don't know about you, but I don't believe a word that they say. Nobody could be that good. So, and honestly, I was thinking about it. This is technically work for me, but it doesn't really feel like work listening to those guys. I could listen to them all night. So John Sheen has agreed to come back out and talk to us for a few minutes. I thought he was pretty funny, and I think you guys probably enjoy hearing from him again.
Thanks. All right, we're a nation. All right, so we got to change it up a little bit now because that was a bit serious and whatever, so I need to know that you're going to be okay with laughing. Are you? You bunch of just, come on. One more time. How's everybody doing? You doing good? Even if you're not, I'll be honest with you. if you're going to have a cardiovascular event, not a bad place to do it. You know? We got people on standby and everything. It's wicked, right? So, I've been doing comedy for a few years now, and last year I went right across the country doing shows. And there was only a couple of places that really had a hard time with my accent. My accent. I don't have a strong Newfoundland accent. Right? Oh, you're going to start? Are we going to start? This is going to be here tonight. What is this, comedy club or something? Right? I'll handle it. But no, I was, yeah. And what was I saying? I don't. Thank you. But no, I don't. And I thought, man, if they find me confusing, they'd never get my buddy Keith, K-E-I-T. Because Keith is from Upper Island Cove. Best accent in the province as far as I'm concerned. I'm not even kidding. I love it. It's great. And he prefaces everything with, I tell you what, doesn't he? Right? Island Cove guaranteed. No matter what he says, I tell you what, beforehand. Right? You know? I tell you what. Every now and again, he'll throw like at the end of it. But he always starts off with that, you know? And I gave this example. And here's the thing about, by the way, I don't have a filter, so if you have an issue with language or anything, well, I don't care. So, this is the example I gave across the country about Keith's accent, all right? We were standing at a bar one time. Beautiful girl walks by. I said, Keith, waiting at her? He said, I tell you what. I talk about his cock, know where she come from. I'll spread that one around. That one can go around a little bit, right? But that's the thing. Everything he says, I tell you what, right beforehand. We were down south on holiday, 4 of us. We're sitting on the beach. This beautiful girl walks by, topless. I thought he didn't see her because he didn't move his head, didn't budge. Sunglasses, never budged. She gets about 10 feet away and I hear, I tell you what. I wonder how much the monthly payments are in 2 of them. I don't know, Keith, but. So sometimes I had to translate for him. I had to translate in the subway in St. John's. He was doing okay when he was, but when he got to the toppings, he threw her for a loop. The poor subway artist was lost. He's like, all right, I tell you what. Give us a bit of lettuce, like. Give us a bit of cauliflower. And throw on a couple of dinky tires. She's like, what? And he said, throw on a couple of dinky tires. I leaned in, I said, excuse me. He's saying dinky tires. What he means are the black olives. That's what he means. That's the thing, too, man. We do have a unique accent. Not just the one. Because I've had people say to me, how do you do a Newfoundland accent? Like, man, Jesus, we got more than one. Like I said, you got Island Cove. You go down on the beer and you go down on the boot. All of a sudden, you got to Google everything. Google where you can go buy and bear new boots. It's ridiculous, right? One of my favorite accents, though, is down around Pools Island. My kid's great aunt lives down there, and she has this wonderful accent. But not only does she have a great accent, she'll repeat whatever she asks back to you until you go full circle. Like she would call the house. I'm like, hello? Oh, John, what are you doing? I'm just doing a bit of writing. Oh, doing a bit of writing. Yeah. Where's Annabelle to? She's down in the room watching TV. Oh, down in the room watching TV. Yeah. Where's Tyler to? He's gone to the mall with his friends. Oh, gone to the mall with his friends, yeah. Where's Jacob to? He's down playing video games. Oh, down playing video games, yeah. And you're doing a bit of writing. Full circle, right back around, right? We had one reality show called Cold Water Cowboys, and we needed subtitles. That poor stenographer. You imagine sitting there, and he's sitting there going, look at this, look, I haven't touched an H yet, look. Besides, how do you even transcribe this? That's a conversation in Newfoundland and Labrador. I had a friend of mine who was visiting from Toronto, and we were walking down the street, and a buddy of mine was walking towards us. And I said, what do you had tonight? He went, kept going. Buddy from Toronto was very confused. He said, that was rude. I said, what was? Well, you asked him what he was doing. He just winked and kept going. I said, yeah, he told me he got to work till 5 o'clock. He's going to pick up a half dozen beer, come over later on and watch the hockey game. Yeah. How'd you miss that? Now, I will talk about this one thing before I go. I will talk about this one thing. And it's, you know, whenever I go across the country, people always talk about Newfoundland town names, right? We do it. We got some weird town names. But what's the one thing everybody across the country mentions about Newfoundland town names? Dildo! Dildo! You know what? I said I wasn't going to make any more fun of Dildo. I said, I'm not doing it. I'm not making, this is lovely people, lovely town. I'm not making fun, you know, fuck them. They know. They know. They've always acted innocent. Innocent, right? Oh, they don't. It's just the name of our town. You know. You know, you got a mascot. Captain Dildo. Who's a wooden statue like this. Right? They know. Come on. They have a 3-day summer festival called Dildo Days. Big banner across the highway, Dildo Days. With the unfortunate slogan, come one, come all. They know. They know. You know. They know. It's just the name of our town. It doesn't mean what you think it means. You tell that to the disappointed tourist leaving the Dildo Museum. Right? Buddy in the leather outfit, oh, he saved up his whole vacation money for that, look. Right? And you got a restaurant over there, fucking right there on the sign. Stuff yourself with the best. It's a bit on the nose, right? You know? It drives me nuts. Actually, you know what? And the thing is, when I was working on the mainland many years ago, I worked at a 24-hour bingo. Don't ever do that. But I worked on, you know, when I was working 2 years ago, I was working with a girl who was from Dildo and hated being in Ontario, hated it. Always wanted to go home, you know? And it reminded me of the old saying, you know, you can take the girl out of Dildo.
He's going to be a really tough act to follow.
That's a dildo.
Yeah, we'll give it a try. Anyways, sadly, slightly more serious topic for a few minutes. I know Pat talked earlier about the things that keep us well and the things that don't necessarily contribute to good health. And there's a lot of talk out there about the social determinants of health. And they are pretty important. A lot of people think that, you know, health care, like the things that go on traditionally inside hospitals, are the most important thing around health care and wellness. But as it turns out, that's actually not true at all. There are a lot of other things that contribute to how we are in our health and our well-being. So Pat, if I was to ask you, what are the social determinants of health? How would you call them?
Well, the reason that we wanted to speak about this subject tonight and in these events that we're trying to do is that it's really important for the public to understand what the social determinants of health are, because the political system spends the money from the government, and if you understand the importance of the social determinants of health, you'll vote in favour of action that's going to be focused on these social factors that influence health. So I'll give you one example. The most important one is probably poverty. So if you haven't got enough money to be able to buy good food, you're going to go hungry, and you're going to buy bad food, cheap food, and processed food. So the capacity for the province to be able to deal with, to fund interventions that prevent poverty is really important. And the one that's the most important, the one with the most evidence behind it, is any intervention that prevents childhood poverty and childhood food insecurity has massive effects down the road when they become adults, with the illnesses they get subsequently, etc. So it is an enormous benefit, but it takes 20 years to have its effect. So the single most important social determinant of health is how much money you have. And that's that piece. So then you've got the other part of poverty, which is adult poverty, where you do not have enough of an income to be able to buy proper food, and you end up buying unhealthy food. That's allied to employment. So the capacity to be able to create jobs and upskill people and allow them to be educated so that they're able to get good jobs that provides them with an income that allows them to be able to eat properly. So that's one major social determinant of health that we can do something about. So the other, and you can, from what I said, you can see that it's linked into employment, upskilling, and education, because it has a direct effect on employment. And I'll repeat what Cassie said. The things that kill us are driven far more by these social determinants of health than they are by our healthcare system.
Yeah, it's a pretty important point because, you know, and this is my take on it, but I think when you say the word health, people think about traditional health care. And, you know, that's the kind of the headspace, is that things that go on in the healthcare system are the most important things about our health. But it's such a paradox because there are so many other things that actually lead to good health, or conversely, poor health, or, you know, not the wellness that we'd look for or we'd hope for. So we wanted to talk a lot tonight and bring out this idea that our culture is actually kind of like a superpower for us in Newfoundland and Labrador. Because in our culture, culture in and of itself is one of the social determinants of health. And we hear all kinds of stuff out there about the things that we don't have going for us. Like, you know, we're at the top of all kinds of lists, like around high blood pressure and diabetes and obesity and all kinds of things like that. And we know this. But we almost never hear the good. You know, how great we are at community, how fantastic we are here at the sense of family and belonging and inclusion, and how well we know how to enjoy humor and music and good food, and especially when you put all those things together with community like we're doing here tonight. It doesn't come to your mind first and foremost as that's going to make me healthy. But the truth of the matter is, those things make us healthier than all the medicines and the interventions and the surgeries and all the things that we think of when we think about operating rooms and cath labs and the stuff that goes on in hospitals. So if you kind of take the whole thing and flip it around, our culture here is our superpower. It's like our ammunition. And I think this is our argument, is that we have to look to our culture and build that up and take all the good in our culture and put that to work for us to become a healthier population. Would you agree?
Yes. Yes, dear. I think I'd just like to add a little bit, because in our culture, and by these comments that Cassie has made, is that we're really pretty perfect, and the reality is we are not really pretty perfect insofar as when you put a lens of inclusion on what we're talking about, we don't do a great job. And that message about inclusion is so important. And let me just explain what I mean. The least healthy people in this country are Indigenous. The most deprived people in this province are living in Northern Labrador, Indigenous. So they're now what we call equity deprived groups. And we do, as a group, as a population, we need to be able to ensure that exclusion is taken away. There are a few other groups that get excluded by the way we treat them, and their health outcomes are far worse. They're frighteningly far worse. They're sickeningly far worse. The LGBT community has far worse health outcomes, driven partly because they're excluded from society, and they need to be included in society and included in the healthcare system. The other group that's really disadvantaged are people with disabilities. Their health outcomes are worse than anticipated based on their disability. And we have to make major efforts to ensure that we include people in our society, and that social determinant of health, which is exclusion, is diminished bit by bit by bit. And we have to, as a community, make big efforts to try and improve the way we treat everybody. We've done a fair bit of work on examining various types of metrics in terms of what we should do as a province and what things we should try and spend our money on, and the things that we're not too good at. And the four big ones are poverty, funding of interventions that prevent poverty, funding of interventions that improve early childhood development and upskilling and education in youth. The third one is health promotion, insofar as we don't eat very well, we smoke too much, we drink too much, we're not active enough. And by that, when we say health promotion, we mean that we need to make efforts to improve the way we deal with those things that cause cancer and cardiac disease and stroke. And the fourth major one is around the one I just mentioned, is around inclusion, or the effects of being excluded.
So hopefully with those few words, we've left you with some thoughts around what really leads to our health and our well-being not just here in our province, but everywhere in the world. But of course, here is home to us, so it's pretty important for us to give some thought, I think, to how these things play out in our life day to day. And, coming together here tonight with this understanding of the social determinants of health and what really makes people ill or well, this is us being healthy, getting together tonight, relaxing. We're going to enjoy some food together shortly, that fantastic music, laughing. These are some of the best things that we can do to be healthy and to be well. So I think with that, we're going to move to another couple of songs by the band, and then we're going to finish up with something tasty to eat.
No, we're going to bring Jeremy and Sean.
Yes, yep, we are. We're going to have a couple of words and then something tasty to eat.
So, I have a confession to make. And I can't make it to a priest because they're all gone. So I have a confession to make to my urologist. Paul, you coming back? So it kind of goes with the priests and the urologists. I'm Catholic, and I was always embarrassed about the condom thing. So I have 5 kids.
That's a fact.
And they're all musicians. And they look at us, because we're all ticking time bombs up here, and they call us a dad band. And they said, Dad, like some of them are like professional musicians, would you stop playing out? You're taking our money. Stop it. Just go to bed. Go watch Price is Right, whatever. So anyway, I'd like to compliment everybody here on what a beautiful venue this is.
Oh, yeah.
We came out early. And I feel bad for the members of the band who aren't here because they really missed out on this. We went to the Stone Jug and we had some burgers and we didn't drink anything. But this is a great place. I work in Carbonear General Hospital once a month. I have the pleasure of doing it. I love coming out. It's a great place to work. It's a great community. I keep telling the townie doctors that won't come out, and some of the doctors here that don't realize how good it is, that this is a great place. You guys got a fabulous community. So now we're going to do a song about love, right? And if you got love, well, that's all that matters. It's all good, isn't it?
All right, nice and peppy now, Donnie. Nice and peppy. I need love to ease my mind. I need to find time, someone to call mama. Mama said you can't hurry love, no, you just have to wait. She said love don't come easy, it's a game of give and take. How long must I wait? How much more can I take before loneliness caught my heart hard to break? Now how many heartaches can I stand before I find a love that make me understand? Right now the only thing I'm hanging on is precious words. I remember when I remember mama said, no, you just have to wait. She said love don't come easy, it's a game of give and take. How long must I wait? How much more can I take before Lord cause my heart ought to break. I remember my life alone before I found the Lord. I only know right now the only way with this world, these numbers there. I remember then, I remember Mama said, no, you just got to wait. She said, love don't come easy. It's a game of give and take. How long must I wait? How much more can I take before lonely days? Cause my heart ought to break and then wait. Now love, love, don't come easy. I didn't keep on waiting, anticipating for that soft voice to talk to me at night. And some tender arm, come on baby, hold me tight, get waiting. Everything's day. Mama said, Mama me on, and these precious words keep hanging on. I remember Mama said, just have to wait. She said, love don't come easy. It's a game of give and take. How long must I wait? How much more can I take before lonely days? Cause my heart ought to break it down. Wait.
So that was one of those songs we didn't get to rehearse, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Seriously, there was a completely different band at the rehearsal last week.
It's all good.
All right, got one more for you.
That was fun, no?
Born in Nazareth, I was feeling about 10:30. Just trying to find a place where a man might lay his head. I said, mister, can you tell me where a man might find a bed? Just smiled and shook his head. No was all he said. Take a load off Fanny. Take a load for free. Take a load off Fanny. Hey, put your load right on me. Picked up my bag, was looking for a place to hide. When I saw him coming in and devil coming from side to side, I said, hey, Carmen, come on, let's go downtown. He said, gotta go, but you know, my friend can't stick around. Take a load off Fanny. Take a load for free. Take a load off Fanny. And you put the load right on me.
Go down, Miss Moses. There's nothing you can't say.
Sing it, Johnny, come on.
It's just old Luke and Luke's waiting on the judgment day. Said, Luke, my friend, what about young Anna Lee? Said, do me a favor, son, won't you stay and keep Anna Lee company?
Take a load off Fanny. Take a load for free.
Chester followed me, and he caught me in the fall. He said, I will fix your rack if you take old Jack, my dog. I said, wait a minute, Chester, you know I'm a peaceful man. He said, that's okay, boy, won't you beat him when you can? Yeah.
Take a load off Fanny. Take a load for free. Take a load off Fanny. And you put the load right on me. Catch a cannonball now to take me down the line. My bag is sinking low, and I do believe it's time to get back Miss Fanny. You know she's the only one who sent me here with her regards. Take a load off Fanny. Take a load for free. Take a load off Fanny. And you put the load right on me. Right on me.
Again, first time the band's ever played together.
Sorry.
Thank you very much, folks.
Thank you very much. Beautiful theater.
Thanks for coming out.
I'm going to just echo, first of all, something that our Dr. Donnie Fitzpatrick said, and that's just to thank all of you guys for coming out. Like, you know, on an evening, you had no idea, I'm sure, what to expect here tonight, right? You know, we know we're happy in this province, and this goal of trying to make you healthier, like, what is that? I don't know, but I think it's a really important message. But I've been given the toughest job here tonight, because both times they paired me with superstars, like rock stars. You heard John Sheehan first. Oh my God, he's fantastic. And another rock star, right? This is, I mean, he's not just known in Newfoundland, Mr. Jeremy Charles, but he cooks around the world. Like, we put his name on our poster because I think that he's recognized and has more of a following than anybody else that I know. So we're really lucky. And Jeremy and I are going to chat a little bit about something that probably is pretty close to both our hearts, certainly his. Did you know that in Newfoundland, the average man lifespan is age 77? On average, that's how long a man lives. In BC is 81. We lose 4 years of life. We're all happy here and that stuff, but we've got a few habits that cheats us out of a few extra years. And one of those things I think we got to pay attention to is diet. You know, I tell my patients, you cannot out-exercise a bad diet. So Jeremy, I know this is really important to you. Yeah. Is it hard to eat well in Newfoundland and Labrador?
I mean, sorry, if you hear me. It can be challenging for sure. I mean, especially these days. But you know, I've been cooking for the last 20 years and a lot here in Newfoundland for the last 15. And growing up as a kid, you know, we spent most of our time in Old Perlican with my grandmother picking berries, growing a garden, you know, truly living off the land and sea. And, you know, we live in a place where we can actually cook with wild ingredients, you know, even at the restaurant, which is the only place in Canada where we're able to do so, and you're able to really taste the true terroir of our landscape, again, from land and sea. And I think that's something so important. And, we're surrounded by wild organic foods, and I think it's really coming down to making those healthy choices, making those decisions, instead of going to the supermarket, go to your local farmer, or again, there's so many other decisions to make, but just trying to be more, conscious of cooking whole foods, and again, trying to access more local wild ingredients.
Like, Jeremy doesn't just talk the talk, he walks the walk. He shot 4 moose in the last few weeks. Now, I never asked him about licenses or tags or anything like that, but he killed 4 moose. And this province, I didn't realize that, but it's I think the only province in Canada where you can actually serve wild game in a restaurant. Right?
Yeah,
we have access to those things.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. I have a lot of friends and colleagues, chefs that come from around the world, and they come and cook with us, and they just can't believe, obviously, the beauty of Newfoundland, but just how fortunate we are, again, to be able to celebrate all the true wild ingredients that are surrounding us. And again, it's one of the only places in Canada you can truly taste the terroir of our landscape and our food, and to me, it's something, so special, and we're so fortunate to be able to do that.
Like, what can we access around here? You walk into a supermarket, everything's packaged, everything is shipped in, everything is processed, and oftentimes, that's the stuff that hits you as you walk in. These people that sell groceries, they're not stupid. They know what to market to you, right? But there's lots of things that we can get at here. Like, if you walk in a supermarket, where do you head to in an aisle looking for?
I mean, they do sell local vegetables at market, I know, in town and whatnot, but yeah, I just look for, fresh produce, seafood counter, what's available. I tend to choose seafood over red meat, and yeah, I mean, I do like going to markets in St. John's. We do have the Green City Market, and I know there's a number of farms that have been popping up lately all around across the island, which is super exciting, and it's great to be able to support them, but also, be able to cook with those beautiful products. It's
Like, we've got chefs from all over the world that come to get what we've all taken for granted, right? Fish in our backyard, vegetables in the garden, mushrooms, whatever it is, and they're coming here, and we have access to it all, but yet sometimes we don't take advantage of it, right?
Well, I think too, it comes down to education and just knowing what is in, what's around you, what's in your environment, and how to access it and how to preserve it, and that's, I think, super important, is education, knowing the lay of the land, so to speak.
Like, sometimes I get deluded and I think, as a heart doctor, oh, you must be special. There's lots of people that can be heart doctors. We've got 14 at the Health Sciences and more than that sort of. But there's, like, to be a chef like Jeremy, there's only one, right? That's pretty special. So just tell us what you got cooked tonight.
Yeah, I wanted to, again, obviously keep it local, so we work with Lester's Farm in town, and so we have a lovely beet salad with a bit of yogurt and granola, and just a bit of mint and some local greens. And we also have a seafood soup, which is tomato-based. There's no cream. A little bit of leeks and fennel, and a little touch of white wine.
I feel like,
and tomato.
Jeremy is obviously a creative genius. You ask Van Gogh, how did he paint that? And he said, oh, isn't it, good luck trying to replicate that, right? So Jeremy takes, at least in my opinion, these simple foods that we all have access to, and they're delightful, right? I mean, we all need to probably jump into what we have in our backyards and eat, stuff that we have around us.
Yeah, just really, again, keeping it simple. I mean, food brings us together. It brings communities together. It brings all of us together, and a lot of times to celebrate or, to mourn or what have you. But I think it's something we've kind of, the Sunday dinners at Nan's that don't happen anymore, unfortunately. But I think it's, we got to try to get back to our roots, so to speak. Grow a few things, make a little bit more effort to, again, cook something for ourselves, and again, share that with friends and family, because, that's what food is all about.
Yeah, it is, absolutely. Well, Jeremy, thanks. We're looking forward to tasting a little bit of your genius out there in a few minutes.
Well,
thanks a million.
Yeah.
Thanks. And look,
Thank you.
And again, thanks for coming out tonight. I know you didn't know what to expect, but I hope we've given you a few things to think about and now something to eat as well.
Yeah. Thank you. Enjoy.
Okay, so that actually brings us to the end of this part and brings us right to the good part where we get to go out and taste what Jeremy prepared. So I just invite everybody to come on out into the foyer and enjoy. And thank you so much. I really hope you enjoyed the evening.